There's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! Taylor gets this one out towards center field to the short porch, and it's a grand slam! That's a floater, out to short. And it's booted off the shortstop's glove! Just like they drew it from Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! Grant Fournier, 2-run shot to right.
A weekend's worth of grueling baseball has gotten us to the penultimate matchups of the 2025 season. Right underneath the Ben Franklin Bridge in Camden and in the city of Camden, we've got the matchups that everyone has been waiting since mid-January for. It's the Region 19 Baseball Championship between the RCSJ-Gloucester Roadrunners and the Brookdale Jersey Blues. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Damian Waiters on the production today, as Johnny Johnson and Rob Valley, two very well-seasoned head coaches for these respective ball clubs, go over the ground rules prior to the start of today's game on a beautiful Saturday afternoon from Camden. Brookdale is coming into this game with the edge. They have won all of their games so far, including a win over Cumberland in the first round and a 12-2 win over Salem in the second round of play in the semifinal. But now they return to action with the finals in today's matchup. Again, Brookdale and RCSJ being, kind of an interesting conundrum, but we've got ourselves a very, very well-talented matchup. Number 1 versus number 4 in the country. You don't get much better than this. They're going to do the starting anthem. They're going to do the national anthem, I apologize. And we'll have starting lineups and first pitch coming right at you in just a moment. It is the game that everyone has been waiting for 3+ months at this point. It's the Roadrunners and the Jersey Blues. We'll see who comes out on top. We'll be right back.
There is no smoking on the athletic facility.
We've got ourselves a good matchup today, and as we get ready to go here in the first of 2 games potentially today, Brookdale needs 1 to win, and RCSJ will need 2 to take the win. They lost their first-round game to Salem, but they've got the Point Pleasant Borough freshman, Bryson Kirby, on the mound for the Roadrunners this afternoon. He's got a 3.81 ERA in 28 innings, 36 strikeouts, and 12 walks allowed. He's going to be facing a very tough Brookdale team, and it seems like both of these teams not throwing their number one starter, but throwing the wild card starter. Let's take a look at the Brookdale Jersey Blues starting lineup for today's game, presented by Harper Driving School. You've got Justin Lopez at short, Declan Sheehan in center, and Shane Andrews behind the plate. Pretty normal there. Gary John Perone, who has taken the outfield position for most of the games this series, is the pitcher. He's got a sub-2 ERA, and he's batting out of the 4 spot, doing a little bit of everything today. Anthony Pizzuti is in left field, batting 5th. Junior Nunez at 3rd. Chris Clark at 2nd. Rich Kernan at 1st, and in the right field spot, Casey Gardner.
On the mound for RCSJ-Gloucester is number 10, Bryson Kirby. Leading off for Brookdale, the shortstop, number 6, Justin Lopez.
Here is Lopez versus Kirby, and the championship is underway with a strike called, 0-1. Time of first pitch, 11:58, actually right on time, if not ahead of schedule. That one's hit foul down the right field line, and it's 0-2. Oh-2 is outside. Kyle McSorley, the catcher out of Old Bridge, is behind the plate. One-two. Check swing, they say no, and it's 2-2. I think that might have been off the plate either way, but Lopez, Sheehan, and Andrews. First 3 for the Jersey Blues in the bottom, rather top of the first. That one's fouled back, and Lopez stays alive. Here's the 2-2. Popped up right side. Heading towards the corner, it will land in play, or not in play, but in foul grounds. It will stay in the ballpark. A couple of folks going for the same real estate, couldn't hang on that time. Kai Hutchins in right field today. Seemed like he was the closest to that ball. Lopez, who has been the leadoff man and the shortstop in all 3 of Brookdale's games in this tournament. 2-2. Ground ball out to short. Reyes, oh, he boots it. Couldn't come up cleanly on the glove side. And Brookdale maneuvers their way into a base runner here in the top of the first with an E6.
Center fielder number 55, Declan Sheehan.
So here's Declan Sheehan, the center fielder. By the way, big thanks to Damian Waiter stepping up for our multicam production today. Running 2 cameras today here in Rutgers Camden. We reserve them for the biggest games of all. One out to Sheehan is a big swing and a miss there. One ball, one strike. Outside. It's fouled back. 2-2. Kirby set. 2-2 to the center fielder, Sheehan. Swing and a miss. He got him. 1 away.
Next up for Brookdale is the catcher, number 5, Shane Andrews.
Andrews is the catcher. He's done pretty well for himself in this series. Brookdale on a 12-game winning streak. And like we said, they are, despite being the number 2 seed, they are the winningest in this tournament. Beating Cumberland 9-8 in 10 innings on Thursday. And then beating Salem 12-2 in 5. Swing and a miss that time, quickly 0-2. 39-8, the record for Brookdale. Andrews, the sophomore out of Red Bank Catholic. Working with a runner on first and 1 away. Here's the 0-2 from Kirby. That one's outside. They're going to back pick to first. It is not in time. Throw came in a little bit late, but a good effort by McSorley. One ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2, runner goes. Here comes the throw, down to second. It is not in time, slid in there safely. Andrews, however, is retired on strikes, and there's 2 away. This will bring up Gary John Perrone.
Gary John Perrone.
Perrone homered in the semifinal game versus Salem, his first home run of the season. First pitch, fastball, catches the zone, 0-1. Perrone, the number 4 hitter for Brookdale. Facing the right-hander Kirby. That one is outside. First 3 for Gloucester in the bottom of the first. If Brookdale doesn't get on the board here, will be Matt Brunner, the center fielder, Gabriel Reyes, the shortstop, and Kyle McSorley, the catcher, who homered in their semifinal game versus Salem. That one's fouled back. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to Gary John Perrone, a 300-plus hitter this year. Like we said, just drilled his first home run of the season. And there's strike 3. He got him on a slider right down the middle. Bryson Kirby gets out of it, and the side is retired. Gloucester will bat first in the bottom half. No score. Brookdale leaves the runner in scoring position. Gary John Perone is the pitcher for Brookdale. As let's introduce his stats for today's ball game. It's a penultimate game for Brookdale. If they win this, they are going to be winning the championship with an automatic bid in the NJCAA tournament. He's a freshman and 44 2/3 innings with a 2.01 ERA. As Gloucester will get ready to go with their starting lineup presented by Harper Driving School. Matt Brunner leads us off in center field, followed by Gabriel Reyes out of Elizabeth at short. Kyle McSorley of Old Bridge is the catcher batting third. Nick Slogic, the designated hitter. Joe Mayer at first. Alex Apicella at third. Gavin West of Hamilton at second. Kai Hutchins, the Manhattanville product. I keep saying Manhattanville, Manhattan University product in right. And Nico Marabo in left field batting ninth. First pitch to Brunner is a strike. No, excuse me, it's a ball, 1-0. Got a little ahead of myself that time. Brookdale got a runner on in the top of the first thanks to an E6. But then the next three batters consecutively were struck out in a row. Brunner, ground ball, out to short, picked up. Throw across the diamond is in time. Beat him by a couple of steps. And there's one away.
Now batting the shortstop, number 11, Gabriel Reyes.
RCSJ-Gloucester lost to Salem in 12 innings of their first game. As Reyes, the batter, again out of Santiago in the Dominican Republic. That one hit him in the foot. He goes down and will take a trip down to first. Not the first time he's been hit this year, and maybe not the last, as
now batting the catcher, number 28, Kyle
he'll get
McSorley.
things settled here. McSorley hit his 14th home run in the opening round versus Cumberland in a 12-1 win. RCSJ-Gloucester chose the third base side dugout. When Rutgers Camden comes to town, this is their home field. They usually play in the first base dugout. But obviously, Roadrunners decided to take the third base dugout. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. McSorley tied for the nation's lead in home runs with 14. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Throw down to second base is in time. And they got him down there at second. 2-2. So bases are cleared now with two away. Two from Gary John Perone. Slider misses away. If the inning continues, Nick Slogic in the on-deck circle for the Roadrunners. Nobody on and two outs in the 3-2. Into dirt. Free pass from McSorley. And he'll get down there without much issue. Here in the bottom of the first in a scoreless game.
Designated hitter number 9, Nick Slogic.
So Perone has allowed two base runners already, but a hit by pitch was thwarted by a stolen base attempt. And it's 1-0. One-0 count. Slogic fouls it back. And it's 1-1. One ball, one strike to Slogic. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Slogic, the freshman out of Lidditz, PA, just above Lancaster at Bishop McDevitt High School. Runner goes, it is foul. Runner on first and 2 away for Gloucester. The canopy tent just flew away here. Two and two. Another one tipped foul, stays alive. Balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Next in line would be Joe Mayer, the first baseman. As runner on first, looking to score. Ground ball, third base side. Nunez is there. They will go to first, and it's in time. Side retired. Gary John Perrone with a scoreless first. We'll be right back after this. The Jersey Blues and the Roadrunners tied at 0. Go ahead. Pizzuti leads us off. In the top of the second, Gary John Perrone with a scoreless first. Allowed a hit by pitch and a walk, but no other damage. Pizzuti, the left fielder, takes a strike. Pizzuti is a name that's familiar to the Brookdale faithful, but to those that may be coming in from the outside, well, they might not be because he hasn't played in any of the games during this Final Four tournament. It's 1-1. Pizzuti, the freshman out of Lyndhurst, New Jersey. 6'4", 205. Manning the left field spot this afternoon. There's a strike, 1-2. One, two. Outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pizzuti, a .390 hitter, 6 home runs, 46 RBIs. So Pizzuti's absence certainly comes as a surprise, but that's just how loaded this Brookdale team is. Again, 12 straight wins, 39-8 on the campaign. If there's going to be any team that will consistently go toe-to-toe with the Roadrunners, it will be, for certain, Brookdale. 3-2 is a swing and a miss. That's 4 Ks for Bryson Kirby. And he sets down Pizzuti to start the second.
Now batting third baseman number 14, Junior Nunez.
Nunez is the batter. He'll be followed by Clark, the second baseman. That one is high. Clark, another player that we haven't seen in either of the games that Brookdale has played versus Cumberland and versus Salem. Infield stepped back a little bit for Nunez. And that's hit out towards right field. Down the line, Hutchins goes over. And it's out of play on top of the batting cages here. Beautiful day here in Camden. Going to get up over 80 degrees this afternoon. And the 1-2. They're going to say yes. They'll tag him out right in the behind, and Nunez goes down on strikes. Bryson Kirby on a roll, 5 Ks in a row. And now it'll be Clark.
Number 9, Chris Clark.
Down low. Two 2-0 here. I think the philosophy here for Brookdale is pretty simple. I think that they want to get on the board first because sometimes the team who scores first could very well be the one to win the game. I mean, you know, we talk about RCSJ-Gloucester sometimes and the home field advantage that they have with the very windy field. Well, the wind, shockingly, is actually blowing kind of side to side. It's not really blowing straight in. There's a liner right center field. Hutchins, though, is there, and the inning is over. Scoreless second for Bryson Kirby. He struck out 5 of his first 6, and we'll go to the bottom of the second. No hits on either side here after 1.5. Well, Bryson Kirby's been on a roll. He's got himself 5 strikeouts as the batter is Mayer leading off the bottom of the second. No hits on either side. Fouled back, right side. One ball, one strike. Mayer out towards right. This is going to slice with the wind down towards Gardner and out of play. 1-2. Mayer, the freshman out of Donovan Catholic in Toms River. In his rookie campaign, 4 homers, 386 average, 43 RBIs, and 12 stolen bases. Line, right field. That's going to get down in front of Gardner. That's a base hit for Joe Mayer to start the bottom of the second.
Now batting third baseman number 3, Alex Apicella.
So Apicella now bats out of the 6th slot. Perone ready, and the first pitch misses low. One-0. Misses outside. 2-0 now. Mayer on first. It's the first hit from either side in today's contest after Perone gave up a hit by pitch and a walk in the bottom of the first, but allowed no runs. Here's the 2-0. 2-1 now. Apicella, the third baseman. He started in all 3 of the Roadrunners games to this point. And the 2-1 is hit well. Out to left center field. Got some good wood on it. It is back. It is caught by Declan Sheehan in center field. Mayer will retreat back to first, and a loud fly out to center is the first out, bringing up Atco's own Gavin West.
Number 14, Gavin West.
Got some good wood on it, but, well, not wood because it's a metal bat, but changeup gets a strike. 0-1. Again, Mayer at a base hit to start off the inning, a sinking fly to right. Outside, 1-1. If RCSJ is going to get ahead, I think, obviously the toughest opponent is going to be one you haven't played. And for these guys, again, back-to-back national championships, they have the hardware on their shoulder. But you can't have those 2 national championships behind you and think, that it's going to be easy work. I was there at the Region 19 semifinals last year where Brookdale had a 5-0 lead. RCSJ clawed back, and who is now at Towson, Max D'Alessandro, hit a 3-run home run to dead center in a ballpark that is deeper than this. That one misses. 2-2. In the on-deck circle is Kai Hutchins. And the 2-2 is down, blocked by Andrews, and Mayer returns the first. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Runner goes, it's foul. Still 3-2. Got a fastball on 3-2 there, and just tried to get him to be late there, because especially with Mayer going, that was almost reactionary in that instance. But they're able to stay alive, and Mayer remains on first without issue. Payoff, Perone nods to his catcher Andrews. That one is lined foul. Look out in the Brookdale dugout. Loving this multicam stuff we got going on. Usually we've seldom used it, but this has really elevated a championship setting here for us in Camden. Perone, 3-2. West again foul. Perone is set, and the 3-2. There's a ground ball out towards second. With Mayer going, they'll get the 1 out, and there is 2 away. But I like this wild card here. As, by the way, with Hutchins up, Mastero is in the on-deck circle again. So we talked about it last night. Mastero didn't start the game. It was Nico Marabo who started, although Marabo and Mastero both have helmets and bats. So I'm not entirely sure. Marabo started last night and then played an inning or 2 in the field. Mastero came in as a pinch hitter during his first at-bat. Mastero is returning from hand surgery in which he didn't play since April 16th. But now Andrew Lombardi is in the on-deck circle. They're playing musical chairs out there. I've seen at least 3 different people in the on-deck circle. (2-0) from Perone. It's way up high. So now Andrew Lombardi's in the on-deck circle. You can see down there Mastero and Marabo both have helmets and bats. So a bit interesting there, but a runner on second for the Roadrunners. And, well, if he gets out here, they won't have to worry about it until the third. But the 3-0 is a strike. Caught the outside part of the plate there. Good call, and it's 3-1. A fly out to center and a ground out to second have been the 2 outs of the inning. Joe Mayer's base hit to right has been the only hit of the game. That one's outside, so Hutchins will walk, and there will be 2 on with 2 away, and now Lombardi will bat, making me put a line in my scorecard because I got faked out by R.J. Mastero. So Marabo, who was the original starter, will not get an at-bat.
Number 4, Andrew Lombardi.
The first pitch to Lombardi is inside, almost hit him that time. And it's 1-1, just missed by a couple of inches there. Brunner, the leadoff man, will be back on deck here in the bottom of the second. No score. Strike called. 1-1. Perone dotting the corners could really be a big success point for Brookdale. I think throwing a fastball anywhere where they can hit it is not going to do you any good no matter where you're throwing them in the lineup. Whether you're throwing them from the 1 spot, the 2 spot, or even all the way down to Lombardi in the 9 spot, this is a team where no batter is safe and, well, no pitcher is safe either. As the 1-2 from Perone is outside. Lead runner is Mayer at second. Perone is set. From the edge of the rubber, the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Side retired. Gary John Perone gets out of it. He gives up a base hit and a walk, but no further damage. Brookdale and the Roadrunners still tied 0-0 through 2. In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities. But to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Top of the third, there's been a defensive change for RCSJ. R.J. Mastero, who we talked about earlier, is now in left field. First pitch foul by Kernan. 8-9-1 for Brookdale in the top of the third. So that was what the confusion was that they put, like I said, they played musical chairs in the on-deck circle. They had Mostero with a helmet and a bat. They had Maribot with a helmet and a bat. And they had Lombardi, who came out at the last second and hit. But Lombardi, by nature, is a catcher, which confused me. So I think they just put in Lombardi to pinch hit because they do have a third catcher in Andrew Marks. But the 1-0 is lined. Center field, slicing and diving in to make the catch in center field is Matt Brunner. One away now for Gardner.
Right fielder number 38, Casey Gardner.
This is one of the things that we also talked about in one of Brookdale's earlier games. There are some players that have different jersey numbers depending on the jersey they're wearing. This is Brookdale's road navy blue. Gardner in his home jersey wears number 17. Pretty much everybody else is the same, though. Sheehan 55, Nunez 14. That one's foul. It's kind of like that one Texas Rangers pitcher, Darren O'Day, who ended up ripping through his jersey in practice. So when he made his major league debut, he had to, well, first of all, they're going to tag him there. That's 6 for Kirby. 2 down. But either way, what we were saying was that O'Day ripped through his jersey in practice. So he had to wear his other teammate's jersey who was not playing that day. That was all the way back in 2008, but back to the top of the lineup card for Lopez. Reached on an E6 his first time. Brookdale still without a hit. Oh, 1. Lopez skies it, right field. It's hit well, going back, he looks up and it's gone! Justin Lopez rings the bell with a solo home run to right field, just beyond the short porch, and the Brookdale Jersey Blues have taken a 1-0 lead. How about it? Lopez clearing the right field fence.
Now batting for Brookdale, center fielder number 55, Declan Sheehan.
So a solo home run to right field. Ball could be flying out of the ballpark today, as that one is check swing that misses 1-0. It is blowing out towards right field. Lopez, a product of St. Joseph by the Sea High School in Brooklyn. That was his 3rd homer of the year and his 37th RBI. 1-1 count. One and 2. Andrews on deck. Sheehan struck out his first time. Kirby, though, still rolling with 6 Ks. That was his first hit. Dribbler up towards short. Reyes is there. Throw across the diamond. Is away. Sheehan tripped up the first base line. They're going to tag him at first. They say that he is safe. And that all depends on how the runner turns in that situation. And in that case, he did turn correctly. He tripped up the first base line. Not sure if he exactly made contact with Mayer. Throwback to first, not in time. Andrews, the catcher. Batting here out of the 3 spot in the top of the 3rd. 0-1 count to Andrews. 5'10", 200 as a sophomore. In the 2025 season, batting .460, 8 homers, 63 RBIs. Strike called as it pops out of the glove of McSorley. He's got 55 runs scored and has played in 44 games, most of them at least for Brookdale. Oh, 2. Throw back to first, not in time. So Sheehan reached on E6. It's the second error committed by the Roadrunners today as that one's fouled back. 1 run on 1 hit for Brookdale, and that was the solo home run to right by Lopez, his third. Kirby is ready to go. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs in a 1-0 Brookdale game. That one is way high. McSorley dropped his mask in the meantime, almost inadvertently. Count is 1-2. Another throw over to first, not in time. Andrews to be followed by the pitcher Gary John Perrone, if the inning continues that long. Kirby is set. Another throw over to first. Not making it any easier for Sheehan here. But the count is 1-2. 2 down. Kirby with 6 strikeouts. The lone hiccup was the home run to right field and another throw over to first, not in time. See what they've got in the tank here, because we'll have to see what they've got if they choose to throw back again. Attacks the batter, and that is a fair ball. No, Andrews has to run. They called it a fair ball down the left field line. Everybody stopped there. Kirby and McSorley are arguing. Valley's coming out. They called it a fair ball. Let's listen in. All 3 umpires conferencing here. But immediately, Bryson Kirby and Kyle McSorley argued the call. And now now Johnson's coming.
You can't miss that call. You made the call. He can't change that call here. No, you can't fuck it up. You can't fuck it up. You made the call. You can't change the call, Bobby. You can't change it. That's bad umpire right there. You can't change it. You can't. You make it look like a fool out there. You can't make that change right there. You can't do it. You can't do it. It's too big of a game right now.
It's done.
Let's go.
All done.
So you just heard it there. They overturned the call. Remember, all the mics you're hearing today are live, so we do apologize for the language from Coach Johnson. But that's raw emotion right there. They overturned it. And now Andrews is back at the dish with the 1-2. He fouls it back. He would have had a double down the left field line. So both coaches pretty upset about the umpiring here as the 1-2 from Kirby is in the dirt. And the best way to silence some folks about a call like that is to do it again. Again, Andrews would have had a double down the left field line. In my honest opinion, I couldn't exactly see, excuse me, over the bag. So it was too close to call on my end. I'm not going to interject. Throw back to first, not in time. Still 2-2 here. Two. Andrews pops it up foul. Checking. Got to figure it out here. Yeah, working on fixing an issue with the Wi-Fi here. Our jetpack
Second baseman, number 14,
completely
Gavin
went
West.
down, not showing any signal. So we are We should be okay now. We're in the top of the fourth inning. Just real bummed that we didn't get a good shot of that home run because Verizon had a regional outage temporarily. So 99% of the time, it's usually because something goes wrong with one of our individual pieces of equipment, but there was very briefly an outage in Camden. So we were a little bit in the dark there, but we're back up, and it's 3-1 in the top of the fourth. We'll keep an eye on I try to keep an eye on the comment section as I can. If any further issues arise, we'll try to get them on a quicker note next time. Strikeout number 7 for Bryson Kirby, and there's one away. Pizzuti is the batter.
Pizzuti.
So while we were out in the bottom of the third, I'm hoping that, no, we did get the Lopez home run because Andrews was the last batter before we ran into trouble. What you missed in the top of the third, Andrews, oh, we missed that too. Oh man, I don't know if we got the controversial double, fair or foul. That's hit out to right. It's off the wall, off the 343 sign. Going down to second is Pizzuti. He's safe. It's a one-out double for Anthony Pizzuti, the left fielder. So Andrews struck out. I'm really hoping that we got the tense conversation between Johnny Johnson, and we'll have to look back at the tape. Yeah, if you guys were watching at home, I'm going to take a look back and see if we got that fiery exchange between Johnson and an umpire. In the bottom of the third, Brunner popped out to first, Reyes singled, McSorley walked, and then Slogic hit a 3-run home run down the left field line, about 300, route down the right field line, around 340 feet. Mayer singled, Apicella flew out to right, and West did the same, flying out to right to end a 7-batter, 3-run inning. So again, we apologize for the outage. If any further issues arise, we'll do our best to tackle them. Oh, that's good. We did get the argument. That's fun. It's a fun part of baseball because we're not on the field. 0-2 is grounded on a high chopper. Reyes fields it well. Throw across is in time and got a double whammy there. Got the out, and Pizzuti is forced to hold at second. Kind of like Don Kelly with the Pirates last night in the Phillies game. Got thrown out, arguing a check swing call. Clark does not go. If you're rejoining us, it's 3-1 RCSJ. In the bottom of, the top of the fourth inning. Bryson Kirby with 7 strikeouts. There's a ground ball out to short. Straight away for Reyes. Throw across the diamond on a double clutch is in time. Good flip there by Joe Mayer, and the inning is over. We go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. It is 3-1 Roadrunners. Bottom of the fourth inning, 3-1 RCSJ. This broadcast is brought to you by Garden State Pet Center. Keep your pet happy and healthy today with the most organic food products available in South Jersey. You can visit today or 7 days a week at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon.
Leading off the fourth inning for the Roadrunners, right fielder, number 18, Kai Hutchins.
Hutchins, the batter, leading us off in the bottom of the fourth. So Mastero is now officially in the on-deck circle. 1-1. Hutchins, a graduate from Pemberton, batted over .550 in his senior year. Big swing and a miss, 1-2. So again, the debate is put to rest. RJ Mastero's in the on-deck circle. Perone kind of slipped up that time. So it'll be officially Hutchins, Mastero, who is in left field, and Brunner. Fouled back. Roadrunners in the inning that we missed. Batted 7 and scored 3. Brookdale has 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors on the board. Don't know if that's right. I think they have 1, maybe? No, I don't see any on the board here. I think RCSJ has 2. 3 runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors. They're going to say appeal to first says no. Three and 2. Again, Johnson expressing his frustration with the check swing. And he's going to pay for it now. He's got to walk. Second time Hutchins walks today. And again, could have had strike 3, and now you've got a guy who's batting .500 with 10 homers.
RJ Mastero.
If he goes deep, or if he brings in a run, that might send him over the deep end. I think even with the woes that some might have today, I would imagine, just off of my educated guess, is that the coaches are going to have a very long leash, because it doesn't make anybody look good throwing out a coach in a championship game. There's a bunt. It's going to get through. Shovel to first is not in time. Mastero got in with a bunt single. And now 2 runners are on as Brunner is the batter.
Next up, center fielder number 35, Matt Brunner.
Mastero's been bunting a lot more. We asked him before the game, are you on any kind of restriction to where you can't swing fully? And he said no. It's all situational. Because that's what I was curious about. I mean, he hadn't hit. They're going to go balk on Perone. Now both runners advance to second and third. Like I said, if a coach gets thrown out of a championship game, that will not look good for anybody. So I think that even with the displeasures, that Johnson is going to have a very long leash. In a regular season game, he might have already gotten a warning, but I think that because of the situation, they don't want to entertain that idea. Because I've seen it before. 0-1. We did a game a few years ago between Pennsville and Audubon where there was a coach that was arguing for minutes on end as if it was a Saturday night live monologue, and there was no way that if it was a regular season game that he wouldn't have been ejected. But because it was the playoffs, because it was a close game, they didn't take that chance. Because the backlash probably would have been larger than the benefit. As the 2-1 from Perone. Runner fouls it back. 2 runners in scoring position here. With Reyes on deck. But Johnson is one of those passionate coaches that will be very fierce in his argument. That one's up and away, 3-2. Again, it's not like he doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, he's a 26-year head coach at Brookdale. He's been there since 1999. Now he's got 2 runners on and nobody out. Full count. Fouled back by Brunner. Well, we know last night at the end of the RCSJ Salem game, things got a little bit hot at the end. But that was a very different situation. Salem was coming off of back-to-back losses of large proportions. Perone versus Brunner. 3-2, way high, ball 4, bases loaded. And there is an arm warming up in the Brookdale bullpen, but who knows if that will come to pass anytime soon. Like we said, Brookdale has to win once today. RCSJ has to win twice. Same scenario as last year, in which the Roadrunners beat Northampton 15-2 and 20-9. I think those might have been reversed, but either way. First pitch to Reyes, drops out. There's the arm in a pen. It looks like 31, I believe, for Brookdale. That looks about right. If so, that would be Dylan Swanson out of Staten Island and Tottenville as the 1-1. Bases loaded. And nobody out. Huge spot for the Roadrunners and a 3-1 lead. Reyes rips it foul towards Delaware Ave. Outside, 2-2. Line drive. Into right field, that's a base hit. 1 run's gonna come in. Here comes a second around third. It's Mistero. He is safe. 2 RBI single, Gabriel Reyes. And it's 5-1. Five to 1 here.
Now batting the catcher, number 28, Kyle McSorley.
As McSorley is the batter. Runners on the corners now. Still nobody out. 4 straight have reached. Runner to third. Oh, 1. That hit him. They're going to call it a foul ball, and it's 0-2. Wouldn't be shocking. McSorley has been hit by so many pitches, not just in the regular season, but in this tournament alone. 0-2 from Perone, outside. Again, with Swanson warming up, you wonder what the limit is here. It's a 5-1 game in the bottom of the 4th. Some heavy offense by RCSJ from the stretch. 1-2. Ooh. Tough one there. It's 2-2. McSorley, left field, hit well. Going back to the warning track, it is caught in left field by Pizzuti. Run scores on a sacrifice fly. It's a 3-run 4th. And it's 6-1 RCSJ. McSorley's had quality at-bats in all 3 of them today. Slogic is the batter. We didn't get the video angle of it, but he had a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 3rd. Out to right field down the line. Fouled back. So 2 home runs already in this game. One by Lopez for Brookdale. It's their lone run and just one of 2 hits, but kind of shows how monumental the Roadrunners offense has been. 6 runs and just 3 hits. As that's a bullet. Back to second. Oh, it's booted. Didn't get it down in time, and that is a costly error. Just not the play you wanted there. 2 runners on. And now the batter will be Mayer.
Joe Mayer.
First pitch. Inside. 1-0. Two runners on, infield staying back. Mayer takes a curveball, rips it foul. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out and 2 on. Fastball misses away. Again, Andrews hasn't done a bad job by any means of blocking and getting some good frames as well, but it's been tough out there. 2-1 in a 6-1 game, 3 runs apiece in the 3rd and the 4th. That ball's hit well. Left field, it is going to drop in front of Pizzuti, and it hits off of his glove. Another error. That will bring home the 7th run. Throw down to first is not in time. That'll be a single E7 with another error charged against Pizzuti. Back-to-back errors. The RBI will count indeed. 7-1 here. I mean, Brookdale is just, oh. I mean, you really want them to kind of lay it in, and unable to do that. They were up 1-0, and then the Roadrunners have given them almost an ultimatum. Remember, for the championship round, there is no mercy rule, so no matter what, we will play 9. So it's a 7-1 game, 4 runs across here in the 4th. And honestly, with the win today, really could make things unpredictable. I mean, even Brookdale could get a couple of good hits, and sometimes the long ball could get that dugout fired up, and Brookdale certainly has their fair share of power hitters. 1-1. Hits off of Apicella's foot. 1-2 here. First base unoccupied. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. The Roadrunners batted 7 in the 3rd. They are now on batter number 8. of the fourth with 4 runs across. One, two. Another one fouled back. On deck is West. One ball, 2 strikes. That ball is away. They do appeal to second, and he says no. I think that was the right call that time. Infield in for Brookdale, especially in the middle here. Runners on second and third, 2-2. Apicella launches the ball, left field, it is down. That will one hop off the bottom of the wall. Coming in is Slogic right behind him. That's a 2-run double for Alex Apicella, and it's now unbelievably 9-1. RCSJ's being told to go back to the dugout. A little bit surprised there that that's what they're going after, but they're going to talk to Perone, and in a 9-1 game, they will take the ball. They will take the ball from Gary John Perone, and that will be the end of his day. Bottom of the fourth, a 6-run fourth inning, and Brookdale, they just need 1 game to win, but that might be the hardest one of them all. It's 9-1 in the bottom of the fourth. West is the batter, Swanson is the pitcher. Nine to 1. Blink and you'll miss it. A couple of must-needed hits for the Roadrunners. A 6-run fourth inning that has made things a little bit testy at times. Umpire behind home plate told the Roadrunners dugout to get back in after a little bit of, I wouldn't call it embellishment, but it certainly was celebration over the explosive fourth inning. Swanson, the pitcher, out of Tottenville in Staten Island. He's got a 1-2 count here to Gavin West. 2.84 ERA and 11 relief appearances, 19 innings, 9 walks, 15 Ks, 7.1 Ks per 7, or Ks per 9, pardon. So used to covering high school and games only being played through 7 that when we calculate strikeouts, we always do it per 7 instead of per 9. West, the 9th batter, runner on second in Apicella after a 2-run double. Here's the pitch. West, right field, hit well. Gardner is there on a straightaway fly ball, and Apicella will retreat for the second out. I'll bring up Kai Hutchins here, who started the 4th.
Now batting right fielder number 18, Kai Hutchins.
One ball, one strike to the right fielder, Hutchins. One. Dribbler back to the mound. Underhand throw is in time. Hutchins tried to beat it out, and the side is retired. Needless to say, the damage has been done. A 6 spot in the bottom of the 4th inning, including some key RBIs and a pitching change. It forces Perone out of the game, and it's a 8-run, 9-1 lead here in Game 1 of the Championship Series. In life, the road ahead is full. Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
Top of the 5th inning. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, or DAWG Pro Wrestling, New Jersey's premier pro wrestling organization with high-flying events and non-stop entertainment throughout the Garden State. You can visit online for more information on future events at dawgprowrestling.com. We also have a Venmo if you'd like to contribute to today's event. And, of course, all broadcasts are free, but we appreciate any extra contributions in regards to travel costs, equipment upgrades, and, of course, keeping everybody happy here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting in a monetary sense. We do have a Venmo at DW Broadcasting. That's in the description of this YouTube video. We do appreciate all of the support that we've received over these past 3 days in Camden. Almost like we've got a residency here now. It's 2-2. It's Kernan, Gardner, and Lopez. Kernan flew out to center his first time. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a foul tip. McSorley's got it, and they say yes. Kernan, I don't think, realized it was strike 3.
Now batting number 38, the right fielder, Casey Gardner.
Thank you. I had one hand on the microphone, had to cover my nose with the scorecard. It's May, folks. It's unforgiving. First pitch to Gardner. Grounder over the middle. Reyes is there. High stop. Couldn't get the spike there. That's going to be an infield single. So Kirby now up to 8 strikeouts, and we've got a bit of a perfect storm brewing. I mean, listen, the Roadrunners have a guy on the mound that's got a low ERA. He's not even their number one guy, but somebody that's got a low ERA and, in addition to that, also has 8 strikeouts. And we also talk about the other side of the coin where Salem in their 12-inning game struck out 21 times and still beat the Roadrunners. So even though if it's not the most consistent benchmark, it's still a way to get everybody kind of thinking, because we do have to play 9 innings. This game will have a set and determined start and end. Same with the next game if necessary. By the way, the game for Game 2 is posted on our YouTube page if needed. It should say Championship Game 2 if needed. Popped up over our heads. Might hit the press box. No, it'll be over there. I misjudged it. It's 2-1. Lopez, the X factor for Brookdale so far, started off the game by reaching on an error and then homered to right for his 3rd of the season. With the wind blowing out that way, it might turn into target practice depending on how these hitters approach it. I mean, you know, we talk about pull hitting and the benefits of that. If you're a right-handed hitter in this park, it is actually beneficial to push the ball as opposed to pulling it. Now, of course, we've seen home runs in this stadium from the left side. Matt Brunner on Thursday, and then before that it was Nick Avignano of Stockton. He was the only other guy that against the wind homered in that direction, homered straight in the bus parking lot. It's the 3-2 from Kirby to the leadoff man Lopez. He hits this one into right field, got under it, I think. Hutchins going back towards the warning track. Did he catch that? Yes, he did. Disappearing towards the corner. Hutchins makes the catch, and there's 2 away. Brookdale gets to second with Gardner on a deep fly out to right. I mean, that's hard to judge.
Number 55, Declan Sheehan.
It seems obvious enough that it's 310 down the right field line and then 330 down the left field line. You've got a short porch there, but you'd think that it would be a hitter's park with all of that. This is the rare occasion. This and Thursday were the rare occasions that the wind was actually blowing in the hitter's favor. If you're here for a Rutgers-Camden game in early March, late February, first of all, you're going to be in a couple of parkas by the 7th inning, but you're also going to be thinking about how the wind from the river just comes straight in. We covered the Immaculata and Rutgers-Camden doubleheader here this past year in February. And in that we saw 2 home runs, one in Game 1 and one in Game 2, one from Bobby Woodward of Immaculata, and then another from Diego Salazar. Rutgers-Camden is playing in the NCAA Regional. They're playing in Baltimore. Walked off RPI. Actually, it was just yesterday because of all the rain. It actually delayed the game in Baltimore. Delayed it for like 2 hours, and then they came back. When they were delayed, they were in the bottom of the 9th inning in a tie game. Really hard to believe. 1-0 to the center fielder Sheehan, crowding the inside of the box. It's 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Gardner singled with 1 away in the top of the 5th. He's now at second base, but honestly, in the top of the 5th inning in a game like this where the Roadrunners already have tons of momentum, they need to do more than this to shut them down. 2-2. He's got 8 strikeouts. Two. Swinging a foul tip, barely stays alive. Took 110% of the swing, but only hit about 1% of the baseball. Up over 80 degrees on this May afternoon on this Saturday. That one's outside, 3-2. I think that's the right call that time. And again, this is one of those games where both sides are going to be a little bit disgruntled. Johnson for one reason. Outside, ball 4. A couple of them missed that time. Kirby unhappy with it. Here's Andrews.
Now batting the catcher, number 5, Shane Andrews.
And even if it was a tight zone that time, we'll have to see how everything works out, because this is a good opportunity for Brookdale. They've got the 3-man up, 2 on. And I don't even think those balls were that egregious, in my opinion, but with the mound visit here, just pitcher and catcher Kirby and McSorley. Like we said, Kirby has been a machine with strikeouts, 8 of them today. And again, Roadrunners, if they're going to win this, they have to play 2. Brookdale only needs 1 to take home their first regional crown since '09. Andrews, 2 on. Kirby throws back, not in time. There is a right-hander warming up in the pen for the Roadrunners. A little bit hard to tell without a jersey number. Now time is called as Valley will come out. They will call for the right-hander. We don't know who he is yet because I can't see the back of his jersey, but we will have a pitching change as right before a big at-bat with Shane Andrews, we'll have a new pitcher of a right-handed variety coming in for the Roadrunners. 9-1 in the top of the 5th with 2 away. Bryson Kirby's day is done. He leaves to a standing ovation with 8 strikeouts and only 3 hits allowed, and the one hiccup being a solo home run by Lopez. We'll be right back with 2 away in the 5th.
3, Tommy Bradley.
Tommy Bradley is the pitcher for the Roadrunners. He's coming in his 14th appearance with a 5.63 ERA. Maybe not the number he's looking for, but 2 outs in the 5th. Oh, that's in. It gets over the glove of McSorley, and everybody will advance. In a 9-1 game, Valley going with a name that even I haven't seen too much of this year. He started 1 game, 4-0 record with 32 innings, 47 Ks, and a 1.38 ERA. Bradley's last appearance was in Game 2 of the regular season finale versus Rowan Cumberland, throwing 2 2/3. But he's appeared sparingly throughout the season, only making 4 appearances since the start of April. 2-0. Andrews fouls it back 2-1. I mean, I don't think the high ERA is something to deter here. I think that in this situation, the Roadrunners have the momentum on their side. They're up by 8 runs, scoring 6 in the 4th. Who's to say they don't put up another wicked number in the bottom half of the 5th? But Brookdale, I think, has to try to stop the bleeding to get back into this game. Because you can't just look at that 6 spot on the scoreboard and say, oh, don't act like it was ever there. You have to play catch-up here. They've got 9 runs on 7 hits, and you've got 1 run on 3, that one being a solo shot to right by Justin Lopez. 2-2 from Bradley. Andrews, left field line. This time it's fair without a doubt. No questioning that one. Andrews is going to line it into the left field corner. Mastero throws it in. It's a 2-run double for Shane Andrews. He will not be denied. It's 9-3. Almost feels like retribution for the double that was denied. Scoring Sheehan and Gardner. The first batter that Bradley faces results in a 2-run, 2-bagger. Inside. Four-hitter up for Brookdale and Gary John Perrone. He remains in the game as a DH after being relieved of his duties as a starting pitcher. That one is ripped foul, 1-1. Perrone, 8 of his 9 runs were earned. He pitched 3 1/3, 7 hits, 6 walks. That's the big number, 6 walks. And even a couple of them were, in the eyes of some coaches, controversial. 1 strikeout and 1 hit by pitch. 1-1 from Bradley is high and away. I think the Roadrunners do have to be conservative with their bullpen, which might be why they're putting Bradley in now. Because Brookdale can now they can kind of see ahead into the future and say, all right, well, if we're going to have to play 2 games now, we have to start conserving our guys. But the Roadrunners, by default, have to be conservative because they must win 2 games to win the region. Brookdale, if they come back and find a way to get in front, there might be some guys that could be left on the bench depending on how everything works out. Misses low, it's 3-2. And Bradley's not even doing a bad job of throwing the baseball there. I think there's some hitters who could have chased that, but Perrone not being one of them. Some good situational awareness here by Brookdale to stay on the straight and narrow and not chase. That is ball 4. Missed a little bit low. A free pass, and the last 3 runners have reached for the Jersey Blues. Now Pizzuti is the batter. But this is a big opportunity for the Jersey Blues. Already put up 2 runs this inning on the hit from Andrews. You can't ask for much more. All you can ask for is for your bullpen to shut things down in the bottom half and try to swing that momentum the other way. And if you're RCSJ, you could still have some opportunities to patch things up here. You've still got a 6-run lead, and a lot of things are going your way. As the 0-1 from Bradley. Foul tip there. 0-2 now. On deck would be Nunez if the inning continues. 2 runners are on for the Jersey Blues. Roadrunners batted 10 in the bottom of the 4th inning. They bat Mastero, Brunner, and Reyes. That ball's laced out towards center field. Going back, Brunner. He's got room, and he makes the catch to end the inning. 2 runs come across for Brookdale, but nothing more. Couldn't get what they wanted, and it's 9-3 going to the bottom of the 5th. R.J. Mistero leads us off in the bottom of the 5th inning. Good start to the game for the Roadrunners. 6 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Brookdale got 2 back, and Mistero up to third on a bunt. Oh, first baseman couldn't get there in time. Clark fell down, actually the second baseman. The ball gets trapped in the bullpen, and they will call the ball dead with Mistero at second now. That will be an error charge to third baseman Nunez. I mean, Clark was the one covering first. And if you're Brookdale, you got to stay in this game one way or another. And obviously the first baseman was in, prepared to get Mistero's bunt. But they ultimately weren't prepared for the fact that it went up the third base line instead of up the first base line. Mistero just, pulled the bunt. They will appeal to first. The runner is safe. I think they were contesting whether Mistero pulled the bag, but in that case, no harm, no foul. They're pulling Kernan in as well, maybe expecting something from Brunner here, and indeed. Showed bunt, pulled back, and it's 1-0. And this is the very typical RCSJ baseball here. Part of Rob Valley's playbook, and now they're going to charge a hitters meeting with everybody going in. The first base coach, there's Reyes in the on-deck circle, Brunner, and then Mistero, the runner, on second. Here in Camden, beautiful Saturday afternoon. It is a very nice day for baseball. Yesterday was not so kind, as first game was delayed 2.5 hours due to a long rain delay that included very heavy lightning. We were sitting in our car for it. We could feel the ground shake with how close some of the lightning strikes were. They played 2:30, and by the time they got done the first game between Brookdale and Salem, here's another bunt. It's popped up to third. Nunez goes over, and it's out of play. But at the same time, just thinking about in this situation, Brookdale's playing a little bit of circus at shortstop, as a lot of teams do against the Roadrunners in this bunt situation, getting, again, creative. Again, runners on, actually just the runner on second, I apologize. That being Mastero. Because he bunted up the third base line and then he got down to second as Clark just couldn't cover the bag in time. Kernan went too far in to try to backpedal. So it's kind of made a tough situation there, and Clark getting back to the bag, he slipped. He either slipped or the ball didn't go his way, one or the other. And the 2-1 from Swanson, runner, left field. It's up there, straight away. And it is caught in left field for the first out. Mastero holds at second. But that's what they need for Brookdale. Just simple outs. Don't need to get too complicated with it because sometimes things will fall into your lap on their own, and other times they'll just kind of settle in as the game progresses. No reason to say that, today is any different. Again, Johnson telling his infield, watch the push button. Reyes does not go, and it's 1-0. Kyle McSorley in the on-deck circle. 2 walks and a sac fly to his name today. Again, Mastero, the 9-hitter and the left fielder, is on second base. Nine to 3, RCSJ over Brookdale. Two balls, no strikes to Reyes. Strike called. They say they're going to appeal. No, I think that was the right call there. Either way, though, it's now 3-1. Swanson set, and a 3-1 to the shortstop. Reyes is outside. That'll occupy first base now for McSorley. And then again, another tough spot here. Roadrunners in their 2 home games versus Brookdale. Won it 10-4 and 10-1. Johnson, clipboard in hand, thought he was going to talk to Swanson, but instead he is directing his infielders. McSorley, a sacrifice fly, and his only at-bat, has 2 plate appearances that ended in a walk. 0-1. Swing and a miss there, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Runners on first and second for the Roadrunners. Mastero jumping back to second. McSorley launches the ball towards center field. Straight away for Sheehan. He makes the catch. Mastero's going to tag. Throw down to third is close. Will not be in time. Gets in on 2 hops. And again, all 4 of McSorley's plate appearances have ended in productive manners. And a fly out to center does advance Mastero, the 9-hitter, to third. Mastero, again, did not play. Prior to yesterday, had not played since April 16th. He had a surgery on his hand where he had a bone in his hand removed. So I joked with him. I said, now you're down to 205. And he returned yesterday. But, again, the commit to Monmouth batted .500 prior to his injury and had 10 home runs, was tied for the lead nationally with Dustin Johnson of Terra State going into mid-April, and then The last game that he played was versus Suffolk, and that was going into the regular season series versus Brookdale, which was the weekend of April 19th. They played first game in Brookdale, 7-5 win, and then 10-4 and 10-1 in Sewell, home of the Roadrunners. In the dirt to Slogic, the Bishop McDevitt product, 2-0. Two runners in scoring position for the Roadrunners, and they've got a 9-3 lead. Here's the 2-0. Slogic popped up foul. Down the right field line and deep onto Delaware Ave. Two balls, one strike. Will be a huge shutdown inning here for Swanson, and they'll need it. Down by 6 after a 6-run inning. Up at the letters, 3-1. Mayer, who has 3 singles and an RBI today, will be huge with the bases loaded. Slogic himself had the 3-run home run back in the 3rd and reached on an E4 his last time. 3-1. That is up high, ball 4, and that is the 6th combined walk by the Jersey Blues staff.
First baseman number 26, Joe Mayer.
And Mayer is the batter now. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And again, this is a situation for Mayer that a little bit scary for Brookdale. Bases loaded, 2 outs. He's 3 for 3 with 3 singles and an RBI. That one is outside. Right now for the Roadrunners, the only batter not to reach base at any point is West. Everybody's done something. A base hit, a walk, an error, something. And that's what shows a winning offense, is consistent hitting night in and night out. This one is popped way up. Can't even see the ball. Nunez is there. Beautiful catch to end the inning as he tracked it down, and a huge spot for Brookdale as they force the Roadrunners to leave the bases loaded in a huge contrast after a 6-run inning. We'll be right back. We are through 5 in Game 1, 9-3. Ryan Nutley, who has 3 RBIs so far, is up on deck as here's a fly ball to center field, going back to the wall. It is gone! 3-run home run, Steve Schaefer. He rockets one out, and it's 9-2. First home run for Schaefer this year, the 2nd hit at home by a Scarlet Raptor.
BB and Copsetta trading a couple looks. They know what's going on. Full count. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Just like they drew it up in Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons in the Ralph Shaw Classic 26th annual. They are back on top for the first.
Junior Nunez, the batter, as the first pitch to Nunez is foul. Brookdale got a little bit back into the game with a 2-run double by Andrews. With the bases loaded, Mayer popped out to 3rd to end the inning. There's a strike called. For the Jersey Blues, it is Nunez, Clark, and Kernan. 6, 7, and 8 for Johnny Johnson and the Jersey Blues. That would make a great 1960s funk band name that had like one hit. And now, following Frankie Valli, is Johnny Johnson and the Jersey Blues. 1-2. Swing and a miss by Nunez. 9th strikeout by the Roadrunners pitching staff. Kirby had 8, and Tommy Bradley, in his second inning of relief, picks up his first.
Second baseman number 9, Chris Clark.
I could 100% imagine that, like the Stone Pony in Asbury Park. Just a full Jersey lineup. Because Frankie Valli is also a Jersey guy, although he's now 90. Can't really perform anymore. Floater into center field. Shading against the sun, West makes the catch. And Bradley looking for a shutdown 6th after possibly the most tumultuous inning in the game for the Roadrunners in the 5th, and even that was only highlighted by 1 hit. There were 2 hits in the inning total. Brookdale has 3 runs on 4 hits, but they have committed 3 errors in the field, which no doubt that is holding them back. Oh, and 2. First 3 for the Roadrunners in the bottom of the 6th will be Apicella, West, and Hutchins. No runs, but 6 batters came up for the Roadrunners in the bottom of the 5th inning. Foul tip, he got him. Bradley with a quick work in the top of the 6th. 2 strikeouts and a little floater out to second. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is 9-3, Roadrunners over Brookdale.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well.
The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious. Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside.
It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need.
And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives.
If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
It's the bottom of the 6th inning. This broadcast is brought to you by Vincent's Lawn Care. Spring has sprung here in South Jersey, and no better way to get ready for the hot days of summer by getting your landscaping taken care of. Call Vincent today at 609-413-0403. Doesn't matter if it's weekly, bi-weekly, or anytime care. Call him today for the best of the best in South Jersey. Servicing Camden County since 2023. That one's fouled back. Tommy Bradley had a quick and easy top of the 6th inning as the Roadrunners look for some extra offense in the bottom half. 1 run will bring them to double digits. Not a double-digit lead, but double digits total. They lead 9-3. An explosive 6-run, 10-batter inning, and Apicella is hit by Swanson. Slider ran up and in and got him just below the shoulder. And now Gavin West is the batter. Apicella had a 2-run double, which was the final hurrah in that 6-run frame in the bottom of the 4th. West 0 for 3. He's the only batter not to reach base for the Roadrunners. Throw to first, not in time. He has 2 flyouts to right and a ground out to second in his 3 at-bats today. Strike called. 0-1. Swanson now, after a clean first inning, not exactly a clean first inning, but he left the bases loaded. He's been definitely relying on the slider a little bit more here. And honestly, I don't think that's too bad of a strategy. I think that where he's at right now in a 6-run game, it might help him to do that. There's the 0-1. West to center field. Sheehan is there. He makes the catch. Here's Kai Hutchins. Looking at the week ahead on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, tomorrow we'll be in West Deptford all day for the American Ball Hockey Alliance National Tournament in West Deptford. First game will be tonight at 8 o'clock in the freshman division, the oldest of the four. Penguins at 2 o'clock tomorrow in Belmar. And then Beavers at 5, Cadets at 6 p.m. to close out a wonderful season of ball hockey that we've had with the American Ball Hockey Alliance. Again, big thanks to Brian Yackel, the ABHA president, Rob Dirks over in Mays Landing. Some great folks over there with the ball hockey organization, and I didn't think that I would enjoy ball hockey, but I really have. It's really actually helped me get into the sport of hockey more generally. We covered one ice hockey game for Gloucester Catholic in the winter. Hopefully we can work something out. I think we had something rumored for next year, but can't reveal too much on that right now, but the count is 1-1. Strike called on the fastball. One and two to Hutchins. Throw back to first, not in time. That's the first time that our split view has actually shown a pickoff. I feel proud of myself now that we got that done. Runner on first being Apicel after the hit by pitch. That's going to be a ground ball stopped at third. Nunez's throw is in time. Does get Apicel at a second. And a 5-3 ground out is the second out.
Now batting on left fielder number 22, RJ Mastero.
Here's Mastero. Product of Gloucester Catholic, 10 home runs and 500 batting average prior to his hand injury on April 16th. Another bunt up the third base line. Nunez's throw is in time. And just like that, Swanson with a clean sixth. For the second inning in a row, the Roadrunners are held scoreless. And going to the top of the seventh, Brookdale's down to their last 9 outs, but they've got a little bit of a fire under their belly. What do they got? It's 9-3. Here in Camden, just beneath the beautiful Ben Franklin Bridge, we've got the top of the 7th inning. The first pitch is a strike from Bradley. The final line from Bryson Kirby in today's contest. He had 4 1/3 innings. Check that, 4 2/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 9 Ks. The Roadrunners pitching staff has struck out 10 total today, including Bradley with 1. Or excuse me, no, he's had 2, so make that 11. It's a good key, and it's a good combination here. He's got 12. Gardner strikes out. Bradley with 4 strikeouts in relief. There's 1 away as the lineup card turns back over to Lopez.
Shortstop number 6, Justin Lopez.
Also a shout out to Mike Wolverton behind us for giving us those paper cards with the lines. I usually try to dig them out myself, but sometimes I'm wrong, so it's better to have somebody that's a little more sane doing it. As it's 0-1 to Lopez. Lopez is responsible for probably the biggest swing that Brookdale's had today, a solo home run in the 3rd. Sweet ground ball to Reyes. It's in time, and Brookdale starting to run out of outs here in game 1.
Number 55, center fielder Declan Sheehan.
Sheehan is the batter. If the Roadrunners win this game, remember we'll still have to play the 8th and the 9th innings, and no matter what, we will play 9 innings today. There will be about a 30-minute break between 2 games. As far as I'm concerned, as Sheehan takes a strike, there will be no I.O. sessions, there will be no extra batting practice, maybe a few drills, but that's about it. These guys are going to have a quick turnaround from game 1 to game 2. When we have lineups, we'll get them in for you, and we'll change the title of the YouTube video. If you look on the live tab, there's a whole bunch of videos for Sunday. Make sure you're clicking the one that says Game 2 if needed, and you can send that link out to your friends as we'll be separating the broadcasts between Game 1 and Game 2. There's a strikeout. Bradley picks up his 4th strikeout in relief this afternoon, and it's stretch time here in Camden. Almost said in Gloucester, but might as well be. It's a wonderful day, and it's just as windy as it is back home at RCSJ. It's 9-3 going to the bottom of the 7th. Brunner leads us off in the bottom of the 7th. I do wish more teams outside of professional baseball did the 7th inning stretch, because it's an appropriate time to stretch. Reminds me of that, it was a very old, I don't know if it was very old, but it was a George Carlin sketch. He was talking about the ups and downs of football versus baseball. Pop up down the first base line is out of play, and it perfectly exemplifies what this game is, really. And talks about football, it's a first down. In baseball, the batter is up. Who's up? Are you up? Talks about 7th inning stretch. In football, it's a very harsh 2-minute warning. I don't do it like George did, but that's a line drive out to left field. Pizzuti is there, and he makes the catch. But I just had to bring it up because it is probably the only George Carlin sketch that I can recite without not only getting demonetized by YouTube, but by getting fired from my job. Brunner now 0 for 4 after that fly out to left at a leadoff spot. He has a walk in the 5th inning, and that's all he's written today. That one misses. Johnny Johnson, head coach for Brookdale. I mean, this is a legendary coaching matchup. A 26-year head coach in Johnson. Came on board with Brookdale in 1999 as Swanson hits him. No action in either bullpen currently. I think right now, barring a huge comeback, we should be playing a second game today, which would be the same scenario as last year. The Roadrunners lost one early to Northampton in the playoffs, in the first round of the playoffs. Northampton making the Final Four. The 4 teams that represented the Region 19 last year was RCSJ, Brookdale, Northampton, and Middlesex. Another throw is way high down the first base line. He cranked it up to first. And a throwaway is responsible for the 4th Brookdale error today, and it moves Reyes up to second. Just can't be making mistakes like that. I mean, I understand Reyes is a bit of a stolen base threat, but it felt like a little bit too much mustard on that one that time. Strike called. It's McSorley and then Slogic on deck. It's 0-1. Took a slider on the inside part of the plate. There's another one, 0-2. McSorley with 2 walks, a sacrifice fly, and a flyout. He's yet to record a hit, but no better time to start than now, with the Roadrunners having 8 hits on the board across 9 runs. 0-2. Skipped in low. Looks like Swanson might have junked up his windup a little bit. Good crowd on hand, good crowd back at home tuning in to the Region 19 championship between Brookdale and RCSJ. That's the 1-2. Outside. Oof. 2-2. If you have any questions or comments about today's broadcast, you can drop me a line at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. We're also looking for advertisers for the summer and fall of 2025. That's the 2-2. Ground ball foul. Almost took off somebody's head in the Brookdale dugout, and it's 2-2. If you're interested in becoming an advertiser of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, if you or somebody you know owns a small business, that you can send me an email at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. That's in the description of our YouTube videos. You can send us an inquiry, and we'll send you a flyer with information on how to get your name in the advertising game in South Jersey. Over 100,000 annual viewers on YouTube, over 6,000 plus social media followers across Instagram, X, and Facebook. And one of the largest growing broadcasting organizations in New Jersey. Johnson directs the pitcher to step off, and now Johnson will come out and speak with his man, Swanson. Swanson having to readjust his high socks. Somebody's starting to get loose down in the Brookdale pen. Not exactly throwing yet, and there's no catcher to accompany him, but Roadrunners were kept off the board in the 5th and the 6th, and that was after getting a runner in scoring position in the 6th and leaving the bases loaded in the 5th. Just felt like a very harsh turnaround from giving up 6 runs to Brookdale putting in Swanson and then shutting down the next guy. So Swanson will remain. Count is 3-2. Strike 3. Down the plate, and McSorley strikes out for the second out of the bottom of the 7th. Slogic is the batter.
Now batting designated hitter number 9, Nick Slogic.
Andrews, Perone, and Pizzuti. 3, 4, and 5 for Brookdale in the top of the 8th. That is a really good combination for Johnson and for the Jersey Blues. I think that they could definitely get some work done. But you do the math, they'll need 6 runs with 6 outs remaining on the board. And that is against the Roadrunner offense that is right now trying to pierce that gap as well and extend it. That's the 1-0. That one's in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes to Slogic. Again, the product of Bishop McDevitt. Two balls, no strikes to Slogic. In the dirt, 3-0. Slogic with a 3-run home run in the 3rd. He reached on an error in the 4th, and he walked in the 5th inning. Three balls, no strikes, and the pitch. Free pass for ball 4. And Slogic gets a free pass, the 2nd of the inning allowed by Swanson. Roadrunners haven't recorded any hits this inning, and now Mayer is the batter.
The first baseman, Joe Mayer.
Two outs, 2 on 2 walks by Reyes and Slogic respectively. And even if the Roadrunners don't get anything this inning, you have to think the long game here. Roadrunners must play 2 to win the region. Brookdale, if they won this game, I mean, listen, they had the first lead on the home run by Lopez, and things took a very steep turn after that. Count is 1-0. Here's the pitch from Swanson. That one gets away, ricochets off of the backstop. He'll pick it up, and both runners advance. 2 balls, no strikes. Reyes on 3rd. Slogic on 2nd base, both runners advancing after the wild pitch. 2-0 count. Again, Johnson announcing a shift to his men in the outfield versus the right-hander, Mayer. Strike called. Mayer 3 for 4, 3 singles. Gonna pop out to 3rd. It's down. Got it off the end of the bat. Throw to first is in time. Side retired. Good break by Brookdale. They walk 2, but no damage. 6 outs to go for the Roadrunners in game 1. Who's got what in the tank? 9-3, Jersey Blues trail the Roadrunners. Top of the 8th inning, Andrews leading us off for Brookdale. Tommy Bradley's still pitching here. Again, I think where the Roadrunners actually seem to be playing this game well is that they are aware and they know out of a winning mentality that they have to be conservative with their pitching. Right now in the top of the 8th inning, they had Kirby throw 4 2/3, and now Tommy Bradley has taken the rest of the way. So this is where things are converging. Again, Brookdale was coming into this game with the hopes that they could use their best and they would only have to play one. But now that reality is starting to seep in a little bit, things are changing. And it's 0-2 to Andrews as they face the meat of the order. 3, 4, and 5. Andrews, Gary John Perone, and Pizzuti. As the 0-1, or 0-2 rather, is outside. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I will say this, that was one of the first times that we've heard some dissent, D-I-S-S-E-N-T, from any of the fans on a ball or a strike call. Things have been pretty clean. That one's outside. We had a very heavily contested first few innings when our broadcast, just before our broadcast went away in the top of the 3rd, Shane Andrews had a ball that the umpires called fair. There was a lot of confusion. Both coaches argued, and Johnson was on the hot seat. And it was getting very testy in the first 3 innings. And now, after the 6th and 7th, went scoreless on both ends. Things now seem to be a little bit more fair weather. There's a fly ball to right field. Going back, it is gone! Shane Andrews just clears the wall in right center field as the home run to right center goes off of Bradley. And Johnson, as you just heard there, says don't give up, and now you've got a reason not to. It's 9-4. Solo shot to right. It's the 3rd home run of the game.
Now batting designated hitter number 3, Gary John Perone.
Perone himself homered yesterday in the 12-2 win over Salem. It was his first home run of the year. Up and away, 2-0. Wonder how short the leash is going to be here for Bradley. There is an arm up in the pen for Brookdale, a right-hander. Looks like number 1, possibly. Well, he just sat down. That's a dribbler. High bounce to West. Throw to first. Just beat him by a step. And there is 1 away. Leadoff home run by Andrews, followed by a high chopper on a 4-3 ground out. And Pizzuti bats.
Anthony Pizzuti.
By the way, want to give a special shout out to all of our subscribers. We have gained over 90 across this weekend. We're up to 3,470 now. Working on some kind of possible giveaway if we get to 3,500. I don't know if a hoodie would be appropriate because we're just about to enter June, and I don't know if anybody would want to wear one of those in June. But Pizzuti pops it up out to right field. Hutchins goes over, and it's a straightaway fly ball for the 2nd out.
Third baseman number 14, Junior Nunez.
Nunez is the batter here for Brookdale now with 2 outs. The leadoff home run by Andrews wasn't followed by much fanfare, a ground out and a fly out to right. Brookdale down to their last 4 here in game 1. Again, what we were told yesterday was that the gap between game 1 and 2 will only be about 30 minutes. There's no plans to do any extra infield, outfield. You don't have to rake the field, and you don't have to do any field prep because it's a turf field. So a very quick turnaround is likely. We'll try to get starting lineups when they become available. Strike called to Nunez. Failing to lift the bat off his shoulders here in the first 3 pitches. Nunez 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a ground out to short. The home run by Andrews brought Brookdale a little bit back to life here, but a high chopper Bradley's got it. Throws the first. Oh, might have gotten cleated over there at first. Mayer tags the bag, and the side is retired. Brookdale gets one back, but nothing more on a home run to right by Shane Andrews. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Roadrunners looking for insurance. It's 9-4. Swanson back in. Sorry about that, I knocked my elbow into the camera. Apicella, a high fly ball out to center field. Sheehan is there.
Second baseman number 14, Gavin West.
West is the hitter now. Apicella flying out to center makes him 1 for 4. West still the only Roadrunner batter not to reach base. He's 0 for 4. 2 groundouts, 2 flyouts to his name. In a 9-4 game 1. Said it before, if there is assuming there is a game 2, it'll be a quick 30-minute-ish turnaround. You can find the link on our YouTube page under the live tab. It'll say championship game 2 if needed. That one's high. 2-1. Brookdale down to their last 3 outs offensively. West stayed stoic in the box. And it's 3-1. Here's the 3-1 from Swanson. Only 2 pitchers on both sides in game 1 could very well mean that the bullpen could be kind of tanked in game 2 because it's going to be do or die really for both teams. As the 3-2 is high. One of the cars came rolling by with some blaring music.
Right fielder number 18, Kai Hutchins.
Here's Hutchins. Only one time I've seen in a summer league game the action actually be stopped because of somebody's music or some kind of dirt bike. I remember we were doing a district game and there was a loud firecracker that was let off across the street because it was 4th of July weekend. Everybody starts to duck and cover because they weren't sure whether it was a firework or if it was the other thing. I mean, seriously. There was a genuine concern, and then they're like, oh, there's no danger. Game was delayed for about 10 minutes because of it, because everybody scampered off the field, and everybody kind of evacuated briefly. Counts 2-1. Johnson coming out. Going to talk things over here with Swanson. The runner on first for the Roadrunners. Just trying to figure things out here in a 9-4 game. They'll keep Swanson in. Like I said, I think Brookdale, obviously there's no laying down an acceptance in losing your first game, but I think that they've got to just try and figure out where they want to go. There's the 2-1. That ball's hit out to left center field. This one's up there. Sheehan going over, makes the catch on his backhand. And there's 2 away. RJ Mestero batting with 2 outs. 2 flyouts to center in this inning. He does have a bunt single to his name, but I'm not surprised if, I mean, he's been bunting yesterday, been bunting today all day. First base runner is holding, though. They are gonna, he's not gonna pull there. (1-0). They might just let him go. I'm not sure. Here's a 2-0. 2-1 now. Two 2-1. West on first. In the dirt now. Three balls, 1 strike. As a ground ball foul, runner's going to be off here on the 3-2 with 2 outs to the 9-hitter Mestero. West, the only base runner of the inning, with a 1-out walk. With the runner set to be off, let's introduce the split view again. The 3-2. Hit out towards right field. Down the line. And foul. (3-2). Again, West ready to go with Mestero at the plate. 3-2 grounded. That's a fair ball into left field. That's a base hit. West is going to third. They're going to send him around. No, they're going to hold him there. West gets in there, and for the first time in this tournament,
Center fielder number 35, Max
Mestero now has a legitimate base hit. I mean, not that the other ones weren't, but one with a swing of the bat. Drives it down the line and gets a double, holds the runner at third. And now for Brunner here. Here's the first pitch to Brunner after the double. Roadrunners needing some insurance here in the bottom of the 8th. Looking back, Swanson. And he 0-1. Swung on and missed at a pitch in the dirt. And it's 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Two outs. A fly out to center by Apicella, a walk by West. Hutchins with a fly out to center and a double by Mestero. Runner now dealing with 2 runners in scoring position off of Tyler Swanson, the right-hander. Runner gets jammed, floated. This one could be trouble for Lopez. It is caught right in the basket, and the side is retired. Brookdale will have one more chance in the top of the 9th, and we'll see what they've got because it is a 9-4 game. Andrews homered in the top half, but they'll need much more than that to stave off a game 2. We'll be right back. Tommy Bradley looking to finish things off for RCSJ. Malik Little is batting out of the 7 slot, pinch hitting in this situation, and obviously seeing the change needed here with Bradley looking to force a game 2, a do or die in this championship series. Looping curveball by Bradley doesn't get 1-1. Little replaces Christopher Clark at second base. I think the philosophy here is if they want to, I mean, Little I don't think naturally is a second baseman. I could be wrong on that, but the 2-1 laced foul. It will drop in a bucket in the Roadrunner dugout. High chopper up the third base line and foul. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out to Little. 7, 8, 9 for Brookdale. This one's popped up and he'll stay alive towards the light tower. The wind now seems like it's blowing straight out to right center. Well, not too surprising considering the 3 home runs we've seen today all hit that way. Lopez in the third, Slogic in the bottom half of the third, and then a little deficit cutter by Shane Andrews. That one is foul. Another one headed for the Rutgers Camden Community Park. 4s across the board for Brookdale. 4 hits, 4 runs, and 4 errors. That's the 3-2, fouled back. Three-two to Little. That is ball 4, just at the letters. And a free pass for the pinch hitter Little brings up Rich Kernan. And they're going to have another pinch runner. So I think Little's only purpose was to get on. And batting is Kernan. Replacing the runner at first is number 13, Derek Miro. Again, another Tottenville product from Staten Island. Oh, 1. Strike called. No balls and 2 strikes quickly to Kernan. He homered in Thursday's opening action versus Cumberland. He's 0 for 3 today. 2 strikeouts and a fly out to center. Roadrunners have a man warming up. Check that count as 1-1. My apologies. 1-1 from Bradley. Fouled back, 1-2.
Pitch running for the Jersey Blues at first base is number 13, Derek Miro.
Arm warming up. Might be Pat Carback over in the Roadrunner bullpen down there. Can't tell entirely. But the 1-2. Another one fouled back. They're going to have to start making baseballs out of bottle caps and glue like they do down in the Dominican Republic to keep this game going. How many have been hit out of play just in these 2 at-bats alone? 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's lined. Back up the middle, it's a base hit. Reyes hesitated. Holding at second is Miro. And don't count them out yet, but a walk and a single have given Brookdale something to look forward to. And again, with the lefty warming up, I do believe that is Carback, but there's the first pitch. There's a ground ball. This could be 2. Flipped for 1 on the first, not in time. They do get the fielder's choice. 9-hitter does move the runner over with Gardner. Little underhanded flip there by Reyes.
Shortstop, number 6, Justin Lopez.
It's a 6-4 fielder's choice, 1 away. Little, or check that, Miro on third. Little pinch hit for Clark, and then Miro pinch ran for Little after he drew the full count walk. Here's Lopez. He homered in the third. There's a strike. 0-1. Bradley again came into this appearance with an ERA up over 5. And now looking to get rid of it here in this one. There's a strike. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Bradley, fastball down. McSorley traps it. Good job there. It's exactly what he's got to do in that situation. Fastball went low. He immediately realized it, and he put himself in front of the ball there. And that's exactly what you need. Can't be too greedy in this situation. 5-run game, and immediately Rob Valley coming out of the dugout before the pitch. seeing if maybe Bradley's day is done. I doubt it would be over in the middle of the at-bat, but this will be Valley's first charged timeout of the inning. First mound visit, I should say. Getting too close to football season, I'll tell you that. Would like to note we will be opening our football season on Thursday, August 28th. I can't tell you where, and I can't tell you who will be playing in that. We just got gifted a water. Maybe somebody heard my cries earlier that the hot dog folks aren't here, and I already burned through 2 of my Snapples today, so some telekinesis going on down here in Camden. It's a beautiful day, though. I mean, I love coming to Camden. Doesn't get much better than this. I think that this is a stadium that has benefited so well from the baseball community. I don't know why the umpire is not breaking this up. That's the one thing that I've disagreed with the handling of the mound visits this series. I haven't really enjoyed how much, because the job of the umpire when he comes out after or during a mound visit, it's to break up the mound visit. It's not to hang around and mingle and ask what your weekend plans are. We saw that versus Salem as well, and that's where things got a little bit testy at the end. It was mostly stemmed from the fact that it was an extra long mound visit, and Salem didn't take too kindly to that. All 3 runners have reached for Brookdale, 1 away, outside. Count is 3-2. 1 out, and a 5-run game. If he loads the bases for Sheehan, that could be real trouble. And the lefty in the bullpen could be huge, but the next 2 batters for Brookdale are both right-handers. Gary John Perone will be the next lefty in the 4 spot. That's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. 2 walks allowed. Really boils down to how long of a leash will Rob Valley have. Because with the bags loaded, I mean, I'm the kind of person that thinks that Valley should pull him and bring in a lefty. But then you also have to, wager the other side of the coin and think about how good he hits versus Andrews. That's going to be 1. Throw down to first is in time. Doesn't matter. Double play for the ball game. 9-4. The Roadrunners will play a do or die as a 1-2-3 double play just like that dashes the hopes of the returning Jersey Blues. And that will do it in game 1. We're going to play 3:30 in game 2. Just got the word there. We'll have about a 45-minute break. And 9-4 the final. Brookdale looked like they had something going. Unfortunately, couldn't get anything absolute as the ball game is over. And RCSJ pulls out their first win. They'll need another in game 2, and Brookdale will be on the hot seat with a 9-4 loss here in game 1. That'll be all for us. Remember, click over to the link on the live tab for game 2 that says, well, game 2 if needed. We'll be back in 45 minutes.
Final score of game 6 of the region.